Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your primetime news bulletin. I'm Shane Silva.
And I'm Nicola D'Zoiza. We start off with a look at tonight's headlines.
President to present special cabinet paper to abolish executive presidency and introduce electoral reforms. Sri Lanka to receive GSP Plus in the near future. Harin Fernando makes a revelation regarding a minister's son.
ඊයේ දවසේ නෝට මේ අමාත්‍යාංශයට රිංගල එක ඇමතිවරයෙක්ගේ පුතෙක් උත්සාහ කළ දිනවා මගේ දේවල් හොයන්න.
Minister Navin Dissanayake elaborates on the responsibilities of a minister.
යම්කිසි ඇමතිවරයෙක් වැරද්දක් කරොත් එයාට යම්කිසි දෙයක් සිද්ධ වෙනවා. එයා වාක්‍ය යන්න ඕනේ එයා පාවිච්චි කරන වචනවලට.
On our top story tonight, President Maithripala says he will present a special cabinet paper at tomorrow's cabinet meeting. The president was speaking to a gathering in Colombo this morning.
The system of providing dual citizenship, which was suspended in 2011, recommenced after the presidential elections earlier this year. 600 Sri Lankan expats were granted dual citizenship on 2 separate occasions this year, and this is the 3rd time the new government is offering dual citizenship. Certificates of dual citizenships were presented to 200 Sri Lankan expatriates at the event, which was also attended by the Prime Minister, ministers and MPs.
I will present a special cabinet paper on this matter at the cabinet meeting that will be convened tomorrow. This is in order to abolish the executive presidency and vest those executive powers with the parliament and the other respective institutions through the constitutional change. I will also introduce a special cabinet paper on the electoral reforms at tomorrow's cabinet meeting. We need to abolish the preferential vote system and ensure that free and fair elections are held in the country devoid of corruption and other malpractices, so that the people can elect persons to the institutions and governments as per their wishes.
කර ගැනීම සඳහා අවශ්‍ය මැතිවරණ ක්‍රමයක් සම්බන්ධයෙන්
මේ බොහෝ දෙනෙක් මේ රට හැරලා ගියේ දේශපාලන.
Many left the country due to political reasons. Today everyone is together to build a new Sri Lanka. We need the support of all to move this campaign forward under the stewardship of the President. We need to build this country. We need to take this country forward. Therefore, we invite you all to work with us to obtain the dual citizenship for you.
Minister of Housing and Construction Sajith Premadasa expressed the following views at an event held in Veeravilla, Hambantota.
The usual practice of our leaders is to make promises to be elected. Once appointed, they forget the major promises that were made to them. But the current president has made a historical decision. The president will present a cabinet paper with regard to abolishing the executive presidency and electoral reforms at tomorrow's cabinet meeting. The president had not forgotten the promises and had come forward to prioritize the parliamentary system with the Prime Minister to completely abolish the executive presidency, as promised.
The drinking water project for the public of Veeravilla who face a scarcity of water was declared open by Minister Sajith Premadasa today.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa attended a number of events in Tangol today.
Equipment for children and pregnant mothers were distributed by former President Mahinda Rajapaksa at the Tangol Base Hospital this morning to mark his birthday, which falls tomorrow. A health camp was held at the Beliyatha Sri Sunanda Mahaviharya, while a puja to bestow blessings was held at the Carlton House. Mahinda Rajapaksa elaborated on the programs that will be held in Anuradhapura tomorrow. I'm not going there to mold political parties. I worship the Sri Maha Bodhi every month. I could not go there this time. That is why I scheduled this for tomorrow. Some are spreading rumors that this is a political program that is completely false.
Minister Duminda Dissanayake expressed his views on the actions of certain groups of the opposition at an event held in the Plant Genetic Resources Centre of the Agriculture Department in Kandy today.
I believe that there is no need to panic with regard to the opposition group. The Central Working Committee of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party has allowed them to work as the opposition while accepting the concept of the national government. The entire nation has accepted Maithripala Sirisena as the state leader. In the future, Mahinda Rajapaksa will be made an advisor to the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and will be included to strengthen the SLFP at future elections. He has a responsibility to ensure the victory of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. In the future, we will not become two groups. We split on the 8th of January. There were 2 groups on the 17th of August. Why do we need to have 2 groups in the future? The party will only have a future if we show the strength and might of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party is the largest party in the country. My father used to say this back then. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party is the largest party and is not one that will dance to the tunes of others. If anyone is doing so, then that is a waste.
Staying in local news, and as mentioned in your headlines tonight, convening a media briefing in Colombo today, Minister of Telecommunications and Digital Infrastructure Harin Fernando expressed the following views.
A son of a certain minister had crept into my ministry yesterday and had tried to go through my things. I intend on speaking on this matter extensively in Cabinet tomorrow. Sons of ministers cannot creep into ministries and do politics. People cannot just walk into my ministry as they please to find out facts about my ministry. And if the nepotism which we got rid of is re-emerging in another way, then I will not let that happen at any instance. It doesn't matter even if I lose my ministerial portfolio. I express my stern opposition on this matter.
Minister Harin Fernando also responded to a statement made by another minister.
Recently, a minister from my district made a statement in the Karadagolla area in Bandarvela on this government of good governance. That was a major statement. He said that good governance was in pieces. It was because of good governance that he became minister. He lost all 9 electorates. I wonder if he has no shame to remain as a minister. There were comments on the bangle sellers. This minister is fond of bangles.
Minister Navin Disanayake commented on the avant-garde issue while opening a party office in the Ginigathena town.
A minister was compelled to resign as a result of the avant-garde issue. The words that were uttered by the minister were not suitable for good governance. If a certain minister does a mistake, something will happen to him. He should be responsible for the words he uses. Even though Tilak Marapan is a gentleman, since there is something wrong with the words he used, he should be held accountable. That is why President and the Prime Minister asked him to resign. It will be the same for us as well. If a certain mistake is done on our part, we will have to face a similar situation. This will be the same to all the chairmen.
Western Provincial Councillor Susil Kindelpitia withdrew the motion of no confidence that he had made against the Provincial Minister Lalit Wanigaratne following the termination of the chairmen of the Provincial Passenger Transport Authority and the Provincial Road Development Authority.
A motion of no confidence was presented against Lalit Wanigaratne, the Provincial Minister for Road Development, Transport, Cooperative Development and Trade, for appointing tainted persons charged with corruption for the positions of chairman to the Provincial Passenger Transport Authority and the Provincial Road Development Authority. A promise has been made to remove both the chairmen. The minister made a promise and will provide it in writing. I made a request from you. Therefore, I will withdraw the motion of no confidence. This is a serious matter. There are many allegations that have been included. The motion of no confidence will not be made void for withdrawing it on the basis of the removal of 2 persons. Kindelpitia made a statement to the chamber. Therefore, there is no reason for us to debate the motion of no confidence against Provincial Minister Lalit Wanigaratne. I wish to announce to the chamber that the motion of no confidence has been made void. We did not appoint this government of good governance to see destruction of state institutions through corrupt and tainted persons. I do not consider this as a personal victory, but as a victory of the people of the Western Province.
The former opposition leader of the Kadwela Municipal Council convened a media briefing today.
The Chief Minister has granted a monitoring post to the son of the former chairman according to his own whim in an arbitrary manner without following any legal procedure. This is an unlawful act. At a time where the Municipal Council has been dissolved, they have been granted the son the position of a monitoring councillor to carry out the task of his father. This is something which has been done for their political gain.
This position has been granted to the provincial councillor who garnered the most number of votes from his electorate. This is not something done a day or two ago. This is the precedent. This position has been given to a Western provincial councillor, not some random German who was travelling on the street. As far as I am concerned, there is nothing wrong here.
After the appointment of the new Chief Minister, numerous issues have cropped up in the Kadwala electorate. There is already a situation at hand where the law is not being enacted by the police into an incident where an alleged group of disobedient employees were being assaulted and hospitalized under their knowledge. There is also another issue where garbage is being collected and is not being disposed properly.
I have served here for 15 to 19 years, and during my time not one day was there a strike like this. So this issue has cropped up when one person who launched a strike is assaulted and beaten up and the police does not take the relevant people into custody. I believe that this issue could be solved over the next few days.
While strongly condemning this, if this is not resolved in a decent manner, we will take this matter to court and do whatever it takes to end the rule of the unamendable Buddhadasa and continue this struggle until the appointment of his son, which was done in violation of the Constitution and the Local Government Act, is brought to an end.
There is no need to panic about this. This is the result of certain things carried out by a power-hungry group. They are the ones who are behind this. So I am trying to give the necessary instructions to resolve this issue and take measures on the part of the public to address their issues.
The program to provide school uniforms to school students of state schools and schools receiving assistance from the state, which had been run successfully for 10 years, became a tangled mess during its 10th year in 2003. Instead of providing students with new material for new uniforms by the last day of the third term of each school year, a program was launched to issue school uniform material on the direction of the divisional secretaries via Grama Niladaris, who would issue coupons for the material to be collected from cooperative stores and Samruddhi Bank branches. This program was run only for a year, and in 2004 the old system of providing uniform material by the end of the last school day of the third term commenced. However, the new subject minister has declared that instead of providing material to the students, a voucher system will be launched for school students. Accordingly, students will now receive a cash voucher instead of material for new uniforms. It should be pointed out that there appears to be a logical explanation for the subject minister to arrive at this decision through the statements he has made so far.
It can be seen that approximately 2,300 million rupees has been spent to provide material for new school uniforms for school children. When I inquired into this, it was noted that of this amount, the actual money spent for school students was 1,300 million rupees. Around 1,000 million rupees has been spent for intermediary, businessmen, commissions and other unnecessary expenses. A new type of mafia has also emerged through this. We have studied this. It cannot be prevented. Therefore, we have decided to spend the same amount of money on the 4.3 million school students of this country. We plan on distributing these funds via a voucher system.
If it is in fact 1,000 million rupees that has been misused, as the minister claims, then the first thing that the minister should have done is inquire into this and expose those responsible. Instead of doing that, by launching an alternate program to implement this mechanism, the subject minister is providing his assistance to those who have unlawfully been enriched through this program. Through this, it seems evident that the Education Ministry has created a tangled mess. More details to follow on this tomorrow.
In our developing story tonight, the Department of Meteorology has forecast thunder showers in certain areas in the island during the evening hours of tomorrow. Duty meteorologist at the department, Maithripala, said that scattered rains could be expected in the western province as well as the Galle and Mathura districts.
The Disaster Management Centre says that around 21,000 persons have been moved to temporary shelters. Locals in a number of areas have been inconvenienced as a result of the heavy showers that were experienced. Several homes in the Karagamle Vaya area in Hambantota were flooded. Locals of this area, which is home to around 600 families, charged that this area tends to flood due to the lands which have been allocated for the construction of the Hambantota port.
It has almost been 4 years now. However, the relevant authorities have not yet looked into this matter.
Water is stagnated in this area. There is a rise in dengue in this area. There are small children residing here. Please provide us with a solution. When inquired, the Hambantota Divisional Secretary said that measures will be taken in the near future to provide these families with alternative lands. The Madampe area in Chilau faces constant floods due to the absence of a proper drainage system. Locals charge that the water collected in the drains have no way of receding due to the construction of houses over the drainage system. However, a tense situation erupted today when attempts were made to remove the blockade in the drains. The clearing of the blocked drainage water system got underway again following the intervention of a former Pradesh Sabha minister. The roof of the teachers' quarters at the Damunamula Primary School in Galewala collapsed due to the incessant rains. Although there have been no occupants at the teachers' quarters for some time now, it is located close to the school's primary section.
Welcome back to the news. The fast, which was launched by a group of inmates detained at prisons under the Prevention of Terrorism Act, has been called off. Commissioner General of Prisons Rohana Pushpakumara said that the fast was called off early this morning as they had agreed to be rehabilitated.
As the government's response to this issue, 11 such inmates were granted bail. 8 more inmates were granted bail on the 16th. Thereby, a total of 39 inmates have now been granted bail. As for the remaining inmates, the government has taken a decision to direct those who are eligible for the rehabilitation process and have them rehabilitated. A decision was taken to direct them for rehabilitation in another 10 days' time.
Tamil National Alliance parliamentarian Mave Senadiraja visited the Anuradhapura prison today to look into the well-being of the inmates detained there.
As they have no money, the inmates requested our assistance to provide them with lawyers. The TNA has the responsibility to speak about this matter with the government. Our Sambandhan is also due to return to the island tomorrow. He is currently overseas to seek medical consultation. So we say that once he returns, it is essential that he holds discussions with the President and the Prime Minister and provide a solution within a short span of time. We are trying to get these inmates released as quickly as possible.
In business news tonight, the Ceylon Bank Employees Union says that they oppose the proposed National Pensions Fund. They point out that the secure EFP will be used for the objectives of the government through the proposed fund.
The Employees Provident Fund, or EPF, was established under the Act No. 15 of 1958 for employees who serve in semi-government or private institutions who do receive a state pension and is administered by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. As of the 31st of December 2014, the total value of the EPF stood at 1,486.9 billion rupees. The Employees Trust Fund was established on the 1st of March 1981 under the provisions of the ETF Act No. 46 of 1980. The aim of the ETF is to build a sense of security for employees serving in semi-government or private institutions who do not receive a state pension. The ETF is administered by the Employees Trust Fund Board, and of the 31st of December 2014, its total value was 194 billion rupees. The current government proposed to amalgamate both the EPF and the ETF to create a new national pension fund that will have a combined worth of 1.7 trillion rupees.
The previous government used these funds as per their wishes. What happened was the investment in institutions suffered massive losses. The funds were in a crisis situation. They say that managing the ETF will be taken out of the purview of the central bank. We oppose this sense of insecurity.
The central bank operated this in a proper manner. However, if this fund is given to an investment board, they will invest and take commissions.
The fund comprises of personal accounts of the employees. If this is included into a public fund, the money that was moved to the accounts by the employees for those serving in the private sector will be lost.
පුජ්‍යලගේ හානියක් බාර සිද්ධ වෙනවා.
රොෂෙන් චානක සහෝදරයා ජීවිතේ
Roshan Chanak sacrificed his life wanting the EPF and the ETF to be protected. They are trying to steer the secure investments under the monetary board of the central bank as per their wishes.
ඒගොල්ලන්ට අවශ්‍ය විදියට පාලනය කරන්න.
In your sports news tonight, Shamra Kapugedra will make a return to limited over cricket following his inclusion to the Sri Lankan squad for the series against the West Indies. The Sri Lankan squads for the ODI, Test and 2020 series against the Black Caps were announced today. Nuwan Kulasekara and Shehan Jayasuriya, who were included into the squad for the ODI series against the West Indies, have been replaced with Dhammika Prasad and Nuwan Pradeep for the ODI series against New Zealand. Angela Matthews will lead the Sri Lankans in the ODIs, where Lahiru Thirimanne will be his deputy. Tharinda Kaushal Silva and Lahiru Thirimanne, who were included for the Test series against the West Indies, have been replaced with Udaru Jayasundara, Kitruan Vithanage and Jeffrey Vandersay for the Test series against New Zealand. Angela Matthews has been named as the Test captain for Sri Lanka, while Lasith Malinga will be the captain for the Sri Lanka 2020 team. Isiru Udana replaces Dasun Shanaka in the squad named for the 2020 matches against New Zealand.
Well, that's a wrap of your primetime news for tonight. Thank you for joining us. For the News First team, I'm Nicola De Zoiza.
And I'm Shane Silva. Take care and good night.
Good night.